Hi, beautiful souls. Today I want to talk to you about what does it mean to live life limitlessly. So this past week, I've been reading Limitless by Jim Kwik. I actually had the pleasure of meeting and listening to Jim Kwik speak at Mind Valley Live back in February, and I was really excited when he announced that this book was coming out for a number of reasons. One, Jim Kwik is one of the leading experts on how to maximize your brain power for success. And he's worked with the likes of Will Smith and so many other famous people and leaders in their industries to help them be better at what they do and teach them how to learn. Additionally, I was excited about it because a few years ago, I made the choice to start adapting to a limitless mindset. And for me, I knew I wanted to push the boundaries of life. I wanted to experience everything beyond my wildest dreams and not live life in a small box. I wanted to accomplish my goals, and I wanted to push the boundaries of what those goals could even be. And so for you guys, you might be wondering, so what does that mean for me? What does living life limitlessly actually mean? And it means living life without the artificial boundaries created by limiting beliefs about your abilities or your potential. So let's dig in. What are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are deeply held negative beliefs about your capabilities that prevent you from reaching your full potential and leave you stuck where you no longer want to be. These are typically subconscious, and a lot of them are formed from your childhood. They could have been taught to you by your parents or adopted just due to your circumstance. Or they could also be the result of a single impactful event in your life. And you often see this crop up in your negative self-talk. For instance, you decide for the 10th time, I'm going on a diet and I'm going to stick to it this time. I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. And as soon as you kick off that new wellness plan, the voice in the back of your head tells you, you're never going to keep this up. You'll probably go to the gym for a week or fall off. You'll still eat junk food. You'll never get to the weight that you want. You'll never be as in shape as you want to be. That is your negative self-talk telling you that something in your past led you to believe that you're not worthy or capable of being healthy and fit. And so that may mean that you grew up in a very unhealthy household, or or you were a little overweight as a child and people told you you're going to always be fat, or you're big boned, or whatever it is. And so you carry that with you. Another place people see this a lot is in love. And so early on, you fell in love in high school. It was the guy of your dreams. He was everything. And then you found out he cheated on you. And instead of apologizing for his choices, he told you, well, I cheated because, you weren't making me happy anymore. You weren't worthy of love. And I found her better, or whatever it was. And so from there, you've adopted a belief that you're unworthy of love, or you have to bend over backwards in order to receive love from someone. And then you take that to every relationship you have next. And oftentimes, even when genuine love comes forth, because you believe you're not worthy, you end up self-sabotaging. How many of you is this ringing a bell for right now? And so what do we do with that? We have to identify this stuff. We have to break it, because the boundaries you create on yourself are all based in lies. You all have limitless potential. So how do we dismantle these limiting beliefs? First things first, like anything, you have to identify them. Awareness is key. You cannot dismantle what you don't even know you're up against. So spend time having a healthy, open, and accountable relationship with yourself. Go to those places in your mind that you've been avoiding, those past situations that you have swept under the rug. A lot of the keys to the future you want lies underneath that rug that you kept sweeping things under. Next, write and reflect on the origin. So once you start identifying what your negative self-talk is, what the limiting beliefs that you carry about yourself, really sit back and reflect on where I acquired this belief. I actually went through this process a few years ago before I went on my spiritual journey through Bali and Thailand and Australia. And I really broke down every belief that I had that was negatively impacting me. And I was able to trace it back to some situation or some part of my childhood or some event. And that is where you find freedom. If you don't know what you're up against, you can't dismantle it. And so really take that time to reflect on how you got here so that you don't have to go here again. Next, replace that limiting belief with a limitless one. So if your belief was, I'm not capable of maintaining fitness, your new belief is, I have infinite potential and ability to live a healthy and fit life. If your limiting belief was, I will always be living check to check, your limitless belief is, I attract money wherever I go. I attract opportunities so that I can live in abundance and not live check to check. You have to change your beliefs in order to change your life. So how do we unlock this limitless potential within us? Number one, always be learning. Leaders are readers. You have to constantly take in new information that will help you become better, help you to become an expert in whatever it is you are working towards. And make sure that when you are reading, you are taking in quality information. The amount of time you spend on blog sites and gossip pages and anything else, that's time that you're taking away from valuable information that can actually improve your life. Those pages don't do anything for you, literally nothing. And so make sure that you are investing your time wisely because that's your most precious commodity. Next, be open to new ideas and ways of looking at the world. If you're a person who thinks you already know everything there is to know about how life works, you're stuck. There's nowhere else for you to go because you believe you know everything. Wise people know that they know very little, and they are always willing to adapt in the face of new information. I don't care if you believed, something for 20 years and that's shaped your worldview. If you are presented with new information that shows you that old way of thinking is obsolete, you have to adapt and you have to be okay with letting go. Next, prioritize your wellness. I cannot stress this enough. And if you read my blog and follow me, I'm always stressing this because you can't do what you were sent here to do if you're sick or you never have any energy because your body's filled on high fructose corn syrup and other ingredients that really damage your body, damage your brain's ability to process information and rob you of energy and health. You are the vessel for creation. Treat this vessel like it's the VIP section. Only the best and top of the line get in, and everything else has to stay on the outside. And so be very mindful of what you're consuming mentally, spiritually, and physically, and who's around you. Next, surround yourself with people who make the impossible seem possible. We've all been in a room with somebody that they just light a fire under you just from their own energy. They make you feel like you can go and do anything. But the problem is you leave a seminar or you leave a talk or whatever it is, and then you go back to your natural surroundings and you're surrounded by people where for every idea you have, they have 15 reasons why it's going to fail. Eventually, you're just going to stop coming up with ideas. Make sure your circle is filled with visionaries and people who are going to help you elevate and motivate and inspire you. Even if that person's been your friend for 15 years, if they're not pouring love and life into you and motivating you, why are they here? It may be that they have exceeded the chapter that God wanted them to be in your life. And as you're dragging them along, you're dragging yourself down. You can love people from a distance, but be very, very critical of your relationships and make sure that as much as you're pouring into them, they are pouring into you. Next, and finally, be intentional with your choices. Once you identify what your limitless life looks like, make sure the choices that you make align with that. So if your view of a limitless life is traveling the world and being financially free and being happy and being healthy and being at peace, if my goal is to be happy and at peace, I can't keep taking in media that makes me feel depressed or makes me feel like I'm worthless. If my goal is to be healthy, I can't go and eat McDonald's or Burger King or crap every day. my choices have to align with whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So examine your day one choice at a time. That's even easier than one day at a time, one choice. So instead of grabbing that soda, grab some water. Instead of sitting on the couch and watching 2 hours of Housewives, go for a walk. Make sure every choice you make is leading to the life that you desire, because you have to hold yourself accountable. There's no way around it. I know there's a lot of, this culture of nothing's your fault, everything's hard. But at the end of the day, our life is as easy or as hard as we choose to make it. And our choices are the things that will guide our path. So I hope that you get inspired, excited to live limitlessly, start shedding those boundaries and disbelief, and start acting. If your fear is of that you can't go farther than 2 miles, go walk 2.1 miles. Now the 2-mile limit is gone. Whatever it is, start breaking your boundaries. I'll be right here waiting for you to cross the finish line.